disability, as to why people on disability had to be poor, why they couldn't get their fair share. The government said that $12 an hour was minimum wage for federal workers. We get our money from the federal government. I want my $12 an hour, and so does everybody else. And we don't ever want to hear you say anything about, well, y'all aren't working. No, we're not working. We've already done our work. We're too old to work. We're wore out. We did what we could. Okay? I built power plants, nuclear plants, chemical plants, everything. And I have worked myself to death. And I deserve my money, just like every other person in the United States. But today I'm not going to bitch about that too much. Today we're going to talk about critical race theory. This is the worst thing I've ever heard of in my life. I don't know what the 50s were like. I don't know what the 40s were like. My father told me about the 40s. He didn't understand them. They told me about the 50s. Still didn't understand them. I grew up in the 60s. I don't understand them. Why did we have water fountains that said white water only? It was the same damn water that the black people were drinking, only out of a different trough. Did they have a different disease than us? You know, were their lips contaminated in some way? Black man had to eat in the back of the restaurant, right on the back of the bus. Y'all are trying to bring that back. You know how many years it took? As far as I'm concerned, it took 60 years to get us where we're at today. Our children play together. We have interracial children. What are we going to tell these interracial children? Half of you's good and half of you's bad? Well, which half should we hate? Huh? Which half of you should we hate? We have interracial marriages. We have people living, black people and white people living together. When I grew up in Waco, Texas, black people stayed on the north side of the Brazos River and white people stayed on the south. If the white people wanted to cross, that was fine. But if the black people wanted to cross, they better watch out, because they're going to be some redneck hillbillies beat the shit out of them. And I've seen it done. I've seen things many, many children should never see. What y'all are doing is separating what it took 60 years, actually 200 years, to bring together, to bring us all together. We can all go to the lake and go swimming. We can all go to the lake and have a picnic without Them damn niggers over there, I ain't eating with no niggers. How many times you heard nigger in the last 20 years? You haven't, have you? No, you haven't, because there's not that many redneck hillbillies left. And I ain't heard cracker, white boy. Well, I heard white boy a whole lot, because I am white. But I don't mind being called white boy. But when you start splitting up races and telling them that white people are bad and white people were bad, yes, I agree with that 100%. What happened should never have happened. And if it would not have happened to black people, it would have happened to the American Indian. Only I don't think we could have whipped them. They were too sneaky. Magic, from what I understand. I'm here to say, if you carry out this critical race theory, it's gonna cause a race war. Now let's think about it. The Civil War. What did we fight for? The freedom of the black people. No, we didn't. We fought for the freedom of machinery. All we wanted to do was free the black people so that the white man would have to buy the machinery to work his fields and his land. That's all we did. That's all it was about. It had nothing to do with freeing the black man. We burned their churches. We did all kinds of cruel, wrong things. Raped their children. It was horrible, horrible what happened. But we have to get past it. And I don't blame black people for being aggravated and being angry and thinking about, how their grandparents and their parents must have lived. How it must have been being in the fields, being beaten all day, having your legs cut off and your arms cut off, and just being killed for no real good reason. I just can't imagine it. But if we start this SeeRT, there's going to be a real problem. During the Civil War, we had muskets. Then we had some repeater rifles come around. That helped things out. We now have 50 caliber machine guns. We now have rockets. We have everything. You think that the Chinese and the Russians wouldn't be happy to help the black man out, to help win this country back? Huh? That's the way it's gonna work. And it's gonna be horrible. And you're gonna be the cause of it. You're gonna be dead and gone. You'll be in your grave. People will have cried over you. They will have felt sorry for you because of you died of oldness. They're gonna die fighting a war you started. And if you want to start that war and watch your children and grandchildren die just because you're too damn hard-headed to stand up and say, hey, let's think about this a minute. You know who started this shit? And that was Nancy Pelosi, and it was Chuck Schumer, and it was Joe Biden. Because that's the only way they could win, was by stealing the black vote. Not necessarily stealing it, winning the black vote. Okay? They've kept y'all fooled for years. They've kept you beat down. They've kept you living in high-rise houses and giving you $300 and $400 a month to eat on, and just it's something that no one ever thought about. Now they're telling us $12 an hour is a living wage. How many black people get $12 an hour on their disability checks? I guarantee you not a one of you. None. I don't care if you made millions in your lifetime or if you made $1 in your lifetime. This is the way white people are treating black people now. And it's the Democrats doing it. Republicans, I can't speak. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm lost for words there, because they don't seem to go after the theory that white people are sorry and black people are good and brown people are good and American Indians are good. You cannot separate the races. You will wind up in a race war that you can't control. And it will be the downfall of this country. So take my word. Love each other. Be kind to each other. Men, hold the door open for a black woman when she comes in. Women, if you want to, hold the door for the black man, for the white man when he comes in. If you don't want to, let it go in his face. Chivalry is not dead. But we are a lot kinder to each other. We're not always fighting. It's not always white man done it, black man done it. You know, there's a black man in my neighborhood. What's he doing here? It's now there's a black man in my neighborhood. He's a pretty nice fella. Lives right down the street. So take your time. Think about what you're doing. You have time. Joe Biden cannot ruin this country for us. He cannot do it. He just can't do it. We can't let him. We cannot let him do it. Nancy Pelosi is doing everything she can to run this place ragged, because she doesn't have another year. She doesn't have another year in Congress. She's not going to be the Speaker of the House. She may be in Congress, but she ain't going to be the Speaker of the House. And we'll make sure of that. So get out, take care of your business, love one another. If nothing else, just smile. Just have a smile for somebody. That's all it takes. is a smile. Maybe a little acknowledgement. Hello, how you doing? How's your day? Lovely day. It doesn't have to be anger at all times. So with this, I'm going to go ahead and end because I have something I need to watch so I can get my facts straight on it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like, dislike, share, erase it. It doesn't matter. Just watch it and listen to it. I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I'm hoping at least some people are listening. Thank you.